House passes bill that could see TikTok banned in the U.S. Okay, House passes bill that could see TikTok banned in the U.S. Let's kind of go through a couple of these things here. Robin, I think you have a video for this as well, right? The House of Representatives has passed a bill that could pave the way for TikTok to be banned in the U.S. app stores. Both Democrats and Republicans supported the measure, which advanced out of committee in a unanimous 50-0 bipartisan vote. Interesting. It's a rare show of bipartisan unity in a heavily fractured political environment. The bill, led by House China Select Committee Chair Mike Gallagher, Republican Wisconsin, and Ranking Member Representative Raja Krishnamurti, Democratic from Illinois, would block TikTok in the U.S. if its parent company, ByteDance, does not divest it from its within 165 days of passage. That's 6 months. I think it's 6 months, right? Is that about 6:30? Yes, that's 6 months, give or take, just under 6 months. So it would also require, I think it's less than 6 months. It's 5.5 months, give or take. It would also require to be bought by a country that is not a U.S. adversary. It's not immediately clear if the Senate will take up the legislation. Tom, what do you know about this TikTok ban that we have going on here?
Well, first of all, you mentioned the committee 50-0, but then it went to the House floor 352-65. Right. That is bipartisan if you've ever seen it. That was strong message from Congress. And what they're saying is, hey, either an American company has to understand that they need to own it, meaning on American servers, on U.S. soil, all of that, or you're basically off the air. So we're going to cut you off and you come over here. But who's going to buy it? Who's up for this? Well, that's interesting. Do you know who the infrastructure partner, the key infrastructure partner, cloud services? It's Oracle. Oracle is the infrastructure services provider for Oracle Cloud. And Larry Ellison would be the guy who's in pole position, because if you buy TikTok, they don't make money yet, and part of it is the incredible infrastructure that takes to support all the video in the background. So if Microsoft buys TikTok, and they were rumored to be one of them, they don't think Department of Commerce will let that happen because they already own LinkedIn, and everybody's worried. It's like Spirit and Southwest Airlines couldn't get together because it would be, remember that PBD? And they would say, hey, no, that's one low-cost airline. That would be too much. The consumers need choice. So people don't think that Microsoft would be given permission to buy TikTok because they already have LinkedIn. There'd be too much social media power. But whoever buys it is either going to be paying Larry Ellison a ton of money for infrastructure, or Larry Ellison buys it. And there's really, if you look around, the people that are out there, Amazon is out there. And then the question is, Alphabet out there. Because remember, Alphabet, Google lost. They were part of the LinkedIn bid process, and they lost to Microsoft that already had Slack and LinkedIn Business Services.
And God knows they desperately needed a LinkedIn because Google Plus didn't do well.
Correct. So the pole position...
Tom, is Google Plus still active at all or no? Is it at all around? Like, this is not a joke. I'm actually asking a real question.
Well, as they say in social media, if you have to ask, it's... I don't know that... I don't even know if it's... I'm embarrassed to say I don't know, but I don't even think it's still alive.
Did they stop it? Does it say like an end date, Rob? Zoom in. Does Google Plus have an end date?
Shut down.
Oh, okay. Got it. They shut it down. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so this puts Google, Alphabet, and Oracle side by side. So if Google buys it, they're writing big checks to Larry Ellison. Yeah. If Larry buys it, he puts all that profit in his pocket.
Apparently this is like, by the way, and this is my opinion, anytime Nancy Pelosi is like all in with the other side, something is off, okay? And I just sent Rob the photo. Rob, can you show what the bill is? This TikTok ban, they're saying is a Trojan horse that's going to be put in like, hey, we're trying to save us from China, when actuality, this thing is going to give the president power to take down any website, any app by saying it's a foreign. This is it right here, Pat. I'll read it for you. TikTok's ban bill, HR 7521, gives the executive branch of government the power to define any platform or website as foreign owned, even if it's domestic, giving them the ability to control, censor the content being published by the company. Elon Musk posted, this law is not about TikTok. It's about censorship and government control. Think about it. They can't shut Elon down. They can't shut down X. Now they just found a way to manipulate and get in there and be like, oh, This is going to give the president, the executive branch, power to go, wait a minute, this is, even if it's domestic, they can shut down a website or a platform.
Wow.
That's the way to get X.
Rob, play this clip.
This is my girlfriend, Nancy. Talk, girl. Go ahead,
The
girl.
main thing, though, is we want TikTok to exist. We're not there to ban it. I've said we want to make it tic-tac-toe. We have to see the divesting of it from the Chinese government, having the custodial possession of the data, whether they have used it.
She's drunk. She's three martinis in.
Custodial access to the data.
Yeah, that's the question. So there's two questions here. The first question is, who's going to buy it? That's a question I answered, and this is what came out of committee. The second question is, to your point, very good point, is what ends up being in the bill.
Exactly.
Because it's a bill, not just an executive action to say, hey, for national security purposes, you need to sell and divest. They're actually putting a bill together to force it. And we all know that when it's in a bill, we had this big argument last time, and I yelled at Adam, is that what's in the bill, what else is in the bill is what's the problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Vinny, you bring up a great point. The
Thank
whole
you.
Trojan horse concept. Rob, I sent you something. The person that basically brought daylight about this was the representative from Kentucky, Thomas Massey. He's been out there. I sent you his tweet right there. But you're absolutely right. He basically said in the tweet, the so-called TikTok ban is a Trojan horse. The website will be given the power, the president will be given the power to ban websites,
Not just
apps.
oh, wow.
There it is right there. The person breaking the new law is deemed to be the U.S. or offshore internet hosting service or the App Store, not the foreign adversary. I'm actually super appreciative that we're hearing both sides, because I've been very outspoken, especially last podcast, like China and the CCP cannot be trusted. Espionage, data collection, surveillance, sowing discord, Gen Z indoctrination. There's a lot to be said of why TikTok should be divested, sold off, everything like that. So there's been leaks. You know, we've talked about whistleblowers with Boeing. We've talked about whistleblowers with January 6th. There's been whistleblowers or leaks within TikTok. And one of the whistleblowers says, listen, whatever you hear from the CEO, Xu Zichu, don't believe it, because everything is seen in China. All data flows to China. You know, we're talking about this House committee that voted 50-0 to ban TikTok. Well, there's a committee in China, and they're part of the CCP, and they're embedded within ByteDance that owns TikTok. And you know what they're called? The committee. And they get to view all the data that is around the country, so around the world. So it's a great conversation to be had. I think it was 50 Democrats who voted against this, 15 Republicans, but at the end of the day, 352 congressmen. There's the number right there.
Yeah.
352 to 65. You know, there's a saying out there that when both parties agree upon something, be very skeptical.
Yeah, and
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, I'm thinking like, who's encouraging to keep TikTok? Who is it? Because we've heard countless calls of people calling Congress to basically keep TikTok. It's helping my business. Teenagers calling their congressmen because they're obviously
this is not that though,
addicted.
Right? This isn't about shutting down TikTok, because
Divest.
whoever ends up shutting down TikTok in the U.S., you're gonna lose that voter base, whatever that voter base
yeah,
is, right?
Sure.
So they're all very, very careful on who it gets the credit for that, right? Of
course. Yeah.
So it's kind of like yesterday we're having a conversation with one of my guys, and you know, he's a PhD guy, and the conversation is about, hey, you know, the daughter is is not a very good swimmer, okay?
Okay.
And but the father, it's a very interesting dynamic. The father is like, no, but I think she's going to be an Olympic swimmer, and the mother was a swimmer. Oh. And the mother's telling the father, like, listen, your daughter's not going to be a Olympic swimmer. She's lazy. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. And people at her age, when it comes down to, no, but she's going to be a swimmer. So I'm having a conversation here saying, how do I break this down to that person, my husband, that my stepdaughter is not going to be a professional swimmer? I said, well, always find somebody else to give bad news like that.
Yeah.
If it's a dynamic like that, you're marrying somebody with another kid, that the father is always going to protect their kids than the new spouse that they're married to, right? Nobody here wants to get the credit for that. Having said that, that's not what they're saying. They're not saying shutting down TikTok in the States. They're simply talking about divesting and having somebody else own them. Now, while they're doing that, if, Tom, you guys are saying that this is going to be a bill, they can always revert back, because right now they could agree here together, right? Fast forward in 2028, go to 2032. All of a sudden, Elon Musk, hey, listen, we're not liking this, and we have to divest. He owns too many companies. He owns Tesla. He owns this. He owns that. We have to divest. What's going on with Twitter? And that could be a way for them to use this as a bill to get a company that is an opposing company to all the other social media companies they control to give up control as well.
And you nailed it. Like, think about it. You know why the left hates Elon? Because he's letting us talk. He's letting everybody open opinion, either good or bad. We get to see it. And that's why he's on drugs. His brain is gone. He's messing with women. I'm telling you right now, this in the long run is going to come back. They're going to try to shut down X because of this type of bill. I'm telling you right now. Because by the way, Adam, you said, you know who owns